Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Taylor, and I'm on the customer education team here at GoSite. Today's workshop is about the GoSite Reviews tool, which is a powerful tool that will help you drive your business's online reputation. Having more good reviews and responding to reviews will really make you stand out against your competition. And we like to say here, reviews create credibility, and credibility creates conversions. I do want to make a quick announcement before we get started. If any of you are currently signed up for the workshops this coming Monday, June 21st, those workshops have been canceled as the office is closed in observance of the Juneteenth federal holiday. If you did sign up, we encourage you to sign up for another day later in the week. All workshops are held multiple days throughout the week. So we have a couple options there for you and encourage you to re-sign up. We'll go ahead and get started with some general housekeeping. This meeting will be 30 minutes. The session is being recorded. A follow-up email after the session will include a recording and some additional resources. And your audio is muted on purpose to prevent interruptions. So please drop your questions in the Q&A feature and they will be answered during or at the end of the presentation. And just so you're all aware, the Q&A feature is for you to drop in your specific questions, in which any answered questions will appear for the group to see, and the chat feature is to contact us privately if you need to. So we encourage you to ask your questions in the Q&A in case someone has the same question. And lastly, the Q&A and chat will be monitored by my colleague David here. So let's get started with today's agenda. Today we'll be covering an overview of the reviews tool, how to reply to a review, how to send and monitor a review request, the difference between a GoSite review and a third-party review, and how to add affiliate review links. So we'll go ahead and hop into our GoSite dashboard here. So just a refresher, this is the desktop version of the GoSite dashboard. This is a test account that we use, but this is how you should see it when you log in. You can access your desktop dashboard by visiting cloud.gosite.com. And I just want to mention real quick while we're here, if you ever need any additional support outside of this workshop, please utilize the live chat or email feature up here in the top right corner. You can chat live with an agent. You can also search knowledge-based articles here, but we do have 24/7 support, so you can get help at any time that you need. So I just wanted to mention that. That being said, let's dive right in. We're going to start by navigating to the reviews tool in our left side menu here. Oops. Bear with me one second. Okay, sorry about that. It decided it wanted to kick me out. We'll go ahead and start with our overview tab here. So what you see here is some general statistics of your online reviews, like your overall rating. Again, this is a test account, so this poor tree trimmer isn't doing so hot right now and definitely has some room for improvement. But you'll also see your total number of reviews and review count from the last 90 days up here. You'll see some analytics showing exactly where the reviews are coming from. And down here, you'll see all recent reviews, which is one place that you can reply to the reviews directly by clicking on this arrow icon here. And the next few tabs are pretty self-explanatory. We have all reviews, all positive reviews, and all negative reviews filtered out here. And for negative reviews, I do want to point out any that come through the GoSite review link that you send out are actually generated into feedback forms that will only live in your GoSite dashboard. So only the positive reviews get posted to your public pages. So you can handle and reply to any issues that may have come up all from your GoSite dashboard here. It doesn't have to be on one of your public pages. I will reiterate that this only happens if they go through the GoSite review link. If they happen to go on their own directly to your Google or Yelp page or somewhere, we do not have control of what gets posted there. So all the more reason to be on top of sending out your review requests after every job so you can manage them. I'm going to pause real quick to see if I have any questions yet. Looks like we're good. I'll move along to our review request tab here. So this is where you can track all the reviews that you have sent out, the total number of review requests sent here, and the click rate percentage is reflective of customers who actually clicked through the link that you sent them. And in the table below here on the right side, you'll see send and clicked columns. The send column shows that the request was delivered. If it bounces, you'll see this red X here. And clicked means that the recipient actually clicked on the link, as here. So this is a great way to manage all of your requests and have visibility in case you need to follow up for correct contact information or remind them of your request. And then down at the bottom here, you'll see some buttons referring to scheduled requests. And requests only get scheduled out when you have entered too many at once. So in order to avoid the phone carriers thinking that your mass review requests are spam and potentially block them, the system will spread them out automatically. So those buttons right here are just to manage those if you sent out mass review requests. So now the fun part, learning how to send a review request. We're going to click this big blue and white button that says send review request. We're going to drop in a name from the contact hub, or you can drop in an email or mobile number and you can create a new contact from that. But we'll just go ahead and select someone who's existing here. You can preview the message that will show and be sent to the customer. You can customize the wordings here in your settings tab, which I'll go over in a bit. If you want to copy the link and send it from your personal phone number or post it elsewhere for any reason, you can click the chain link icon and copy it. Once we're ready, we'll go ahead and send review requests to send. And I also want to point out up here, there's an option to copy the shareable link from up here. In case maybe you wanted to drop it in your email signature, or if you have an outside source you'd like to provide a feedback link to, you can do so here. Also, another thing to note is that if you're sending the review request via link in the SMS text message, it'll be sent from a number that's associated with your dashboard that is separate from your personal number. So you can locate that specific number in your messenger tool. It'll show you on the top right corner once you hop in there. So let's confirm. Let's see if our review went through here. I'll go ahead and refresh. Okay, so now we see that our request was sent here. Our friend John hasn't clicked on it yet, but when he does, it'll show this green icon here. Moving along here, we'll go to the widgets tab. And I honestly don't want to confuse anyone. So unless you want to create a widget button for a third-party website, you can ignore this tab. But if you were interested, you could copy the embedded code here. So we'll jump to our last tab here, the settings tab. Here you can see the options your customer has to choose from in regards to the location they want the review to be posted. And there are a few different options regarding which locations are included and how heavily you want to weight each location, meaning the more weight assigned to a location, the more emphasis and prominence it'll have in the order the customer sees the option. And to remove an option, you would just click the blue checkbox next to the left of the location. So firstly, before I break these down, we want to make sure that our Google My Business and Facebook pages are synced. So to check that, we're going to go hop into our Manage My Business settings, which will be in the drop-down menu from our profile icon here. And we'll see in this sync data section that both of our pages are synced. If they were not synced, you would see a button here that says sync, and you would hit that button and log in with your respective credentials here. So we'll need these to be linked in order for it to be linked on the review request when the customer sees it and it's sent through. So now that we know our pages are synced, we'll hop back to our settings. So the direct review option is to post directly and solely on your website. The Google option will be posted directly on your Google My Business page, and your website will pull them through so they are visible on your website as well. The Facebook option will be posted directly on your connected Facebook page, and your website will also pull these through so they are visible on your website. A quick note here, each review can only be posted to one location, meaning a review posted to your website will not be pushed to your other social pages, and only the customer can choose where their public review is posted to, as it's associated with their personal public account. The exception to that is your website will pull your public reviews and display them on your website. It just doesn't work the other way out since the customer chooses that. If you have another affiliate website that you would like to include to receive reviews, for example, a Yelp, Angie's List, Home Advisor, etc., you can add them under the Add More button here. And from here, you can select from the dropdown. If you don't see it, you can choose Others. You would paste the URL here, assign a weight. You could rename it here for your reference here. You could upload an icon, and you would click Save here. Down here, you'll see Review Widget Settings, which again are relevant if you want to create a widget outside of GoSite. Down here, you can create your email template and customize your messages. This is pertaining to if you created a redirect link on your website, potentially like a button saying leave feedback or something similar. And once they click that button, they would get this email. You'll also see some different setting options down here, like adjusting the photo that appears on the request, which will be an important part of your setup process. So initially it'll be defaulted to a GoSite logo. So you'll want to make sure and come in here and change the photo so the customer doesn't think they're leaving a review for the GoSite business. So you can go ahead and upload an image of your logo, or you could go ahead and search images here as well. And lastly, down here, we have some different themes to choose from for the SMS text version of the review request. You can select here and adjust your template. I'll go ahead and pause and see if we have questions.
Hey, Taylor, we do have one question from Sonia who asks, what are the widgets? So I'll let you go ahead and look into that one.
Okay, perfect. So the widgets themselves, this is why I didn't want to confuse too many people. It's more like it acts as like a button. So if you had an outside website that wasn't hosted by GoSite, and you wanted to connect this tool to your website, you could do so by dropping in an embedded code here. So it kind of works on the back end there. You can still utilize this tool if you have an outside website, and then it would just tie into this settings here. So they would still pull through and you could monitor all of your reviews here. And then it would just still go through GoSite and you could still have your other existing website there. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so next we're gonna hop into the mobile app. Bear with me while I get it set up here. Okay, so for reference, I'm using an iPhone. It may look a little different on an Android, but you'll get the gist of it here. And we also have help articles in our knowledge base for Android. So we have step-by-step instructions there, as well as images and screenshots and videos. So I'm in the Apple App Store here. I went ahead and searched GoSite. And if the app wasn't downloaded, you would see a Get button similar to the app below here. But since I have it downloaded, I'll go ahead and click Open. So here's our mobile app here. This is our Home tab. And at the bottom, you'll see some icons: Home, Contacts, Payments, Messenger, and Menu. We'll go ahead and click on Menu to pull up all of our tools here. And we'll select Reviews, which is in the second row towards the right. And so we would have all of our reviews showing up here. To go ahead and send a review request, you would hit this blue plus sign button here. Similar to how we did on a desktop, we'll enter a name here. Once we look this over, if we wanted to add another contact, we could do so with that blue add another contact button. The message looks good. We'll go ahead and click send in the top right. And then we'll go ahead and click overview up at the top here to bring up this under menu here. We'll go ahead and jump down to review requests. And we'll see that our other request was sent here as well. So if you want to navigate to any of the tabs that we saw on the desktop, you would go ahead and click that title up at the top with the arrow. And then we could go to all reviews. And we can monitor them here as well as respond as well once they load up here. Okay, so I'm going to pause for questions. It looks like we do have another question here. Noelle asks, is there a limit of how many review requests I can send per day or over all the time? There isn't a limit. We just do recommend doing one at a time, just because, like I mentioned earlier, we don't want the phone carriers thinking that a mass review request is spam. And so we want to do them kind of scheduled out. You can do a few at a time, but I would say no more than 10, just to avoid that issue there. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so we will go ahead and navigate back. And we're going to go over a little recap of what we learned today. We learned the importance of reviews, how to send a review request, how to reply to a review, different types of reviews, and how to adjust our settings.